Why do you slime Janae? Well, I'm not actually a slime, but that is what we're watching. It was a long and hard decision, but finally, I landed on slime. And what could go wrong? As we all know, the world is being rebuilt, a town at a time, civilizations, communities coming together, and all by one slightly translucent blue boy. It's actually been a little while since we watched our little slimy boy, and there seems to be quite a few episodes and things to watch, which is always nice. I'm going to assume that you know what happened in the first season, so let's just move on. I didn't really forget many things about slime, but I didn't think we'd start straight back off into the classroom with all the kids. They are so good at hiding their emotions, aren't they? I wonder if any of my teachers would actually have done a better job if they were round and gelatinous. But now that they all have their kind of inhabiting spirits, at least they don't have that 5-year timer. They've managed to change the public opinion of them. I mean, maybe one of them. One of the things he's going to do. Please do a smash cut straight into him asleep. And to think a slime could so easily waltz in to a city like that and become a teacher. There's a lot on his non-existent shoulders. Is there a limit to this skills and abilities that you can pick up? But there's just thought about it. I think it did happen. But at least his computer was wiped. And are we going to get a bit more with Veldora? Release the dragon upon the nations. How many more monsters and creatures are going to appear and become slightly more, going to have a humanification apply to them due to Rimru's effects? Oh, I should have had some 3D glasses. Is the story going to deviate from the life of the kids and them, their powers and being saved for now? I don't like how the voice actor had to pant so readily. Best character right there. Gobter has went far beyond just a comedy relief. Compared to everyone else in this intro so far, who is rather steadfast, serious, and then Minim. Are we actually revisiting some of the older... Well, I say older characters like the Spirit, but that was near the end of the first season. Ugh. But how much of a fully fledged nation is... Is it called Tempest? Is it going to become? Druid Tempest Federation. Getting a bit more kind of cultural exchange. I doubt it's all going to go down without so much of a hitch. Why though? I mean, I can imagine quite a few people would want Rimuru-esque merchandise. I don't think that quite works. This is just a dress-up montage, isn't it? A poor excuse for a montage. Oh. I think it's really quite unnecessary. Also, when did they get the idea for samurai armor? I'm sure you do. But you could probably go with a collar ruff and full plate skirt, and people would still celebrate Rimuru's fashion style. Gabiru. Managed to hold their attention quite easily. Good speech. And they're about to burst into celebration. Yeah, compared to how it started as a small goblin village in the mud. Two of the demon lords have been satiated for the time being, but what about the other ones? Are they going to just sit back in the background? There's the raucous cheers. I think Rimuru is probably the safest out of everyone here, but even if he is incredibly powerful, we don't want to put him on the front lines constantly. Is anyone going to be concerned slightly about their characters being drawn by the dire wolves? And are they not going to send the spy dude ahead just to make sure everything's on the level? Gotta build that embassy. It's good that they've all got their own interests and abilities. I'm going to become a chef. Like a proper town. Her notebook is a bit preoccupied by her other thoughts. What does it call for a dryad to drop by? I guess a first contact with her, just knowing that they've entered the forest, is useful. Does need to step up the construction by a bit now. Picking fruits and berries in the forest. Run. Yep. Cute. Well, that worked. Making a name for themselves. Good. You would have thought that if they were out here collecting all this stuff in the forest so casually, then they'd be at least aware of the potential danger. Spreading the good word. And since they are becoming these like legendary heroes, who would assume they were lying about the faction of good monsters? Did you really think that would work? Keep up that training, Gobster. One day you might be able to land a hit. It's all going far too well. Now we know Rimuru is incredibly cultured, handing out brandy to the guests. Don't waste it! Do we have time? How many Rimuru-shaped objects are there in this town? I think they might revere him a little too much. Then again, he is kind of marketable. I'd be surprised if there wasn't Rimuru bath bombs already. It's kind of like all of the... everyone under his kind of... not really command, but... is being trained not to make first moves. It would blow their whole we're good routine. But you need to take that away from him. I like his suit. It's a snappy jacket. Oh, an electric tiger? From the Beast Kingdom or whatever, so yeah, why wouldn't they? Well, they've got to make a good impression on the first meeting, don't they? Interesting hair. Beast tears. Right. We have an uppity person full of self-confidence. And if she gets defeated so easily, is she going to change her mind? Supremacy. Ah. If he defeats her, would she change her mind on the cowardly humans? I think this is going exactly to plan, isn't it? Not really. Can you back down to peer pressure in this occasion? There were some hearty footstep sound effects. She's upset that he's being insulted. This was his fight. Okay. I mean, Xion hasn't really been in combat all too often recently. Also, are her movements impeded slightly by her business suit? Try not to damage the forest too much. The Dryads won't be too happy about it. You do not have faith in your underlings. Runt. I mean, is this really necessary? I mean, they share the same eyebrows. Can't they just put it behind them? I mean, he probably doesn't have the same agility or quick movements with that big sword. I mean, they're not sending in their top combatants at this point. Put down the tree, Xion. I think this is going to lead credence to their delegation later. They're having so much fun. No one... Yeah, you'd kind of... No one seems upset by it, though, do they? If you want to leave a good impression with the Beast People... What's with this slightly reserved and peaceful ending? What would it be like if slime was a slice of life? Which... Considering how easy some of the things he has to face are, might as well be. Is it going to change, or is it always going to be Xion and Milim? They are kind of the two that are somewhat closer to Rimuru, being a best friend and probably a bit more than just a loyal advisor. It appears the trading with the Animal Kingdom is going to go ahead just fine. They're hitting it off well, as if they're old friends that like to beat each other. But even if that Sophia didn't kick off at the beginning, I don't really see this going down any other way. But at least the fighting was dealt with by Yom and Xion. God help the Beast Kingdom if they had to go against Gobta. But since this Beast Kingdom has seemingly set themselves as a presence in the world, they've made presents for the Rimuru Tempest, Jura, Tempest Federation thing. You know, demi-humans might be slightly different to goblins, but at the same point, are they really? But with the large powers that be being, well, Milim just really quite strong. I don't think she's got a nation of her own. This Carrion and his Beast Kingdom, the other Demon Lords, are they going to sit back and allow this all to go ahead? Or what happens when Veldora himself manages to be released from his bonds and Rimuru releases him upon the world? Do you think he's going to go a bit crazy with his newfound freedom? Or Rimuru has to, smack him on the nose and, no, that's a bad dragon. I know this wasn't the first episode because there was a recap one before, but I think they I don't need it. I don't think they covered any new ground in it, so straight into this one. Like how they covered the Rimuru leaving the kids at the beginning, so yep, our journey here for the time being is done. I'll pop in every now and again, especially now that he has that instant teleportation. But also, if Yom does win here, the humans that they look down on so hard for being weaklings and cowards, if Rimuru can pick them up that much, what about races with actual potential, like the ogres? It would be good to see some new monster races be incorporated into the town further down the line. Now they've got the orcs and whatnot doing construction. What else do they need? You can do the classic harpies doing the mail delivery service. Airmail. But that's all for the future, and hopefully there's plenty of it. Some of you may know what's coming up in Slime, and I don't know what I'm walking into, but so far, it's kind of looking good. So, if you've enjoyed this, let me know. If you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to completely stay up to date, not that I really give out too much information, check out my Discord. Links are down below. But for now, if you have an open air hot bath, have a soak, you may want to stay off the brandy. But see you in the next one. If you want to help build up my community and maybe be sent on some delegations, consider joining onto my Patreon, because maybe we can show the world that this ragtag group of people can actually achieve something, even if it's just watching anime. So, Sal, Raywin, Electric Ant, Arthur, Noku, Shiwan, Mecha, Jennifer Rojas, Stinspy, Big Boy, Matt, Russell Paulson, Girly, Denman 1997, ASD, Dark Show 7899, and everyone else. If you're called on to fight for the honour of the channel, would you step up?